Hey guys, I just want to make one last video about the importance of note taking. So, excuse me, recently I've noticed that a lot of the students in the classes are not taking any notes in class. So, if you watched the previous video about memory retention, you would have understood that the way we structure class is based on you guys taking notes. So if you guys don't take any notes in class, it's very useless for you guys to even come to class notes. So let me just focus the video. All right, notes, right? It's very important, right? And it's very useful for you guys to come to class because you will not learn anything, and by the time you get home, you'll forget most of the content. So how should you structure your notes, and how should you, do it in a way that you're more likely to remember more content and understand the concepts a bit better? Okay, so the first thing is you need to have what I like to call the two notebook system. So the two notebook system is basically you have one notebook. So this is going to be your scrap. Oh, oops, scrap. So it can be torn, it can be dirty, it can be just a bunch of old paper. It doesn't matter what it is. In your scrap notebook, you have your working out. So in this, you have your working out. You have your note, like the basic notes we take in class and that sort of thing. So this notebook, you can bring it anywhere, right? It should not matter to you if this notebook is ruined. But what happens is once you get home, you should have a nice, it doesn't have to be a big one, but a nice, and make sure it's beautiful, because human beings like to learn when the notes and the notebooks and their environment is just clean and beautiful. So get a nice little notebook. You can get really good notebooks from Officeworks for it costs only about $3 to $5, but a $3 to $5 investment into something which makes you more likely to study is a great investment. So get a nice little notebook. Or even go to Smiggles. Get something that you like. So once you get home, what you should do is part of your homework, every night after a lesson, you should transfer all your notes. So this notes, transfer it all into this notebook. So if I were to give an analogy of this to computers, is imagine this scrap notebook as your phone, right? And this good notebook as the iCloud, right? Most of your parents would know that every time, they go home and then they put their phone into charge and they connect to the Wi-Fi, their phones would start backing up all their photos and all their files to the iCloud so that in case this phone gets lost, they can always have their photos. And that's exactly what you should be doing with your two notebook system. This notebook should not leave your house. Let's just say your friend's just like, oh, hey, bro, can you please bring your notebook to our study session? Can I just take some notes from you? No, don't let them do that. Because if this notebook gets lost, the whole year you spent taking notes will be lost. So this is like your study Bible, or it's your number one guide, and do not lose this. So make sure you keep this clean and safe at home. And the benefit of this is that at the end of all our classes, when you have 2 weeks before the GATE exam, what you can do is you can go to this notebook and you have a whole book filled with just the most important and the useful notes that you need, right? You don't have any of this working out stuff in it, right? So to show you an example, I'll show you my own notebook, and not my good notebook, but just a working out notebook. So let me just find the page. So as most of you guys, have, my notebook this is part of my maths units in university. So, you have a lot of working out and it's just really messy. Like it's not very nice to look at this, notebook. It's very ugly and messy and that sort of thing, right? And what you should do is, imagine if you had, before 2 weeks of GATE test, right? You had to look at this and then you had to figure out all the notes. It would be so mentally draining to go through this, right? So what you should do is you should have a specific notebook where you can transfer all your good notes. So instead of like having all of this randomly, you have a good notebook where you can transfer everything. So let me see if I can find my good notebook and I'll show that to you guys as well. Focus that, okay. Oh, never mind, I can't find it. But if I do find it, I'll send you guys some photos of how I used to put on my notes. and maybe that will help you guys out. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, all right? See you guys next week.